it is all about colors. We see color in virtually everything. But when it comes to food, color means a lot more than just its shade. We all have a notion and an association with color, determined by our experience. If you are simply looking at this, you see it as an ice cream. Then you see its pink color and infer that it can be nothing but a strawberry ice cream. Immediately you relate to the taste and we perceive color through the eyes, but it works in the mind. The perception of color depends on vision, light, interpretation, and an understanding. That means it's physiology, physics, and psychology, all working at the same time. When it comes to food, it is probably the psychology that acts more than anything else.
Where we would like to have foods in a color with which we are familiar with. We would not like to have a brown orange juice or a blue orange juice. Okay? We would like to have a very orange juice. Though factually, the natural orange juice may not be as orange as we would like it to be. Okay, but the brightness of the orange, when you have these artificial colors added, increases our likeness and increases our attraction towards the beverage.
We demand color, so we get it. To satisfy us, the food industry has to make sure we get what we want, no matter what the consequences are. They have to sell their product. This is what paves the way for artificial colors used as food additives. These additives are generally harmful to the body if they are of chemical origin. These chemical coloring agents are marked as possible cause of kidney damage, nervous system failure, and even cancer. Well, this does not happen overnight. Prolonged intake of different chemicals may lead to severe complications. Food colors may be of different types depending on their origin, natural or synthetic. Natural colors come from a plant source. Turmeric is an example. Synthetic colors are those that are of artificial or chemical origin. These colors can again be graded as permitted and non-permitted colors. All these are mostly azo dyes that interact with the food molecules and impart color to the food.
If you have, say, a food item which is not colored and a food item which is colored, now a layman would always, a person who's not aware would always go for a brightly colored food because he thinks that that is probably more tastier, which is not really true. I mean, it does not really have a relation to the taste or to the nutritive value of the food, but it is the appeal which the manufacturers hit at.
Legislation in most countries permit the addition of both natural and synthetic coloring matter. The Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations defines an additive as a non-nutritive substance intentionally added to food, generally in small quantities, to improve appearance, flavor, and texture or storage properties. But what is color anyway? Where does this color come from? Every food particle is composed of molecules. Molecules in turn are made up of atoms, and atoms have electrons in it. Now these electrons possess a certain amount of energy. When light, which is composed of 7 basic colors, fall, it adds energy to the electrons. This alters the energy content of an electron. As a consequence, particular wavelengths or colors are absorbed and these colors disappear. The remaining light lacking these colors appear as non-white light.
over here, when you have a choice, you will definitely choose something which you feel is good. Okay? And again, this is something which is going into your body. You're eating something. There's a saying that what you eat becomes you. Whether we believe this or not consciously, there's always an unconscious protectiveness. So you have that protectiveness about yourself. You know? So anything which is apparently good may not be really bad. That's what you feel food-wise.
Let us take the example of meat. Myoglobin, a water-soluble muscle protein, is responsible for its color. Originally purplish red, when it combines with oxygen, it forms bright red oxymyoglobin. This is what we see on the surface of fresh meat. The application of heat changes its color to brown due to the formation of metamyoglobin. If at any stage the expected color is not available, then artificial colors are used. For raw meat, Congo red is the popular dye to make it look fresh. This dye is banned in many countries, including India. Sodium nitrate and sodium nitrite are also used in permitted doses to add to its fresh red look. A number of dyes have been used for decades or even centuries, so we have a great deal of experience regarding both their usefulness and their safety. To assure continuing safety, experts periodically review these traditional additives. Most governments issue an official list of permitted additives, stating the highest acceptable concentration, defining food products in which they may be used, and sometimes recommending the maximum daily consumption. Such legislation is revised periodically and products are added to or deleted as and when additional information about it is available. If it is found that a dye is harmful, it is taken off the list of permitted dyes. For instance, metanyl yellow and Congo red were very popular dyes at one time, but they were later found to be unsafe, hence banned. Since a banned dye becomes cheaper, a booming market develops for these. We still find these dyes in packets of powdered haldi and red chili. It is almost impossible for us to keep track of these, so it is better that we avoid them. No matter what the law says, we still find these products all over. Some of the common and permitted dyes are carmosine, an orange-red azo dye. It is generally used in gelatins, puddings, dairy products, confections, beverages and condiments. Brilliant blue FCF, a bright blue dye for use in beverages, dairy products, powders, jellies, confections, icings, syrups, extracts and condiments. Erythrosine, a cherry red dye for cherries, confections, baked goods, dairy products and snack foods. Fast green FCF, a sea green dye related to brilliant blue FCF, used for beverages, dairy products, puddings, cherries, confections, ice cream, sherbet and baked goods. Indigo thyme is a royal blue dye, used in baked goods, cereals, snack foods, confections, ice cream and cherries. Sunset yellow, the orange azo dye, used in beverages, confections, ice cream, dessert powders, cereals, baked goods and snack foods. Tartrazine, the lemon yellow azo dye. It finds use in beverages, confections, ice cream, custards, preserves and cereals. All these are permitted colors, colors that have been found suitable for the human body to assimilate. Permitted or non-permitted, today our intake of synthetic colors from different sources has increased. As a consequence, the body has to exert a lot more to digest these. And if things are not digested completely, the residue goes to the kidney and gets accumulated there, leading to kidney damage.
In that way, we can take an example for metanyl yellow, that is a yellow color generated by a chemical known as lead chromate, and where the lead is the main constituent of that composition. We know very much about the toxicity of the lead. When this color goes into our system, it actually penetrates the intracellular structure of our body through the stomach. It goes to the blood streams, and through the blood streams it goes to the brain, and they accumulate in the brain different cell structure and creates a lot of malfunctions to the brain, and sometimes they can cause some fatal action on the brain.
If plant extracts could be used, it would have been safer on our system. But with the huge demand of the market, plant extract is not enough. Though a lot of research is being done for mass production of natural colors, there are some bottlenecks. There are times where the natural color is not as bright, so an artificial additive is punched in for the right effect. This is a sweet made of besan or gram flour. To make it a little attractive, tartrazine yellow is added to it. It costs about 2 rupees 50 paise. If it had kesar or saffron in it, the price tag would have been much more. 100 grams of tartrazine yellow costs rupees 45, while 100 grams of saffron comes for rupees 650. Moreover, a pinch of saffron might not have been able to compete with a pinch of tartrazine in the richness of the shade. These chemicals do not affect us in one day. Prolonged intake of artificial colors from different sources can reach a stage when it can lead to something as serious as cancer.
As far as human studies are concerned, there are very limited studies which have been done. And it's mainly the in vitro work or the work on animals, the results of which have been extrapolated. And we have very few synthetic colors where there are confirmed studies which show that they are carcinogenic to human beings. Otherwise, the evidence is mostly circumstantial or based on the animal studies. Well, there has been a lot of studies on a coloring agent you might have heard called butter yellow. Butter yellow came into existence in the early part of last century, and it was being used to give yellow color to butter. And later on it was proved that it is a very strong hepatocarcinogen or causes liver cancer. And so then it was banned, and it remains banned in most of the countries.
In India, the Prevention of Food Adulteration Act 1954 and the Prevention of Food Adulteration Rules 1955 has provided complete guidelines in the use of color in food. In addition to the use of safe colors, the government lays down certain regulations. Unauthorized addition of coloring matter is prohibited. This means only permitted colors may be used. All packaged food should indicate the presence of permitted colors in it. Use of caramel is permitted without any label declaration. Natural coloring matters, either isolated from natural source or produced synthetically, may be used. Addition of inorganic matters and pigments are prohibited. Here, chewing gums are given a leeway. They may contain titanium dioxide up to a maximum of 1%. No synthetic food colors other than the following shall be used in food. Food colors may be used in only the following food items. there is a maximum limit to the use of permitted colors in a food item. A soaring market of harmful colors is the industry of unpacked food items. It is virtually impossible to impose regulations here.
You know nowadays most of the papers are printing, have color printing and all photographs, and even packaging is mostly done using various colors. Most of these colors are synthetic, and they are, a large number of them have been proved to be, if not cancer causing, at least highly toxic to human beings.
Clear labeling adds to consumers' ability to make informed choices about what they eat and drink. But that too is difficult to come across. We ask for it, that is why we get it. If each one of us say no to artificial colors, then the food industry will have to look for safer alternatives, namely natural colors. We have to get our act right. No one can take care of us if we do not.